Post-game live stream. We've just witnessed an exciting matchup between the Bulls and the Utah Jazz, and now it's time to hear your thoughts and reactions. We'll be taking live callers to get your take on the game and see how you're feeling about the team's performance. So it's Saturday night. Grab your favorite beverage, grab your phone, get ready to share your thoughts on this Chicago Bulls victory, 126-118 over Lowry Markkanen, the Utah Jazz. And let's get this get this straight. They were missing some people in their roster, but it was good to get this done nonetheless. So we'll be taking your calls. P.Kidd is having some tech issues right now, and that's okay. But we'll get it underway right now. Isn't it so good when we can defeat Lowry Markkanen? As red hot as he's been, as much of an alpha dog, with how many dunks did he have in this game? 7, 8 dunks. And man, one of them could have been a crime. They could have had CPD right there, taking Lowry Markkanen away in cuffs because he just killed that man. Vooch, boy, he gets murdered this year. He's like a cat. He's got 9 lives. He just keeps getting killed by huge dunks every time. So hey, let's start taking some calls here and get some reaction. Let's go out to the 773. How you doing, caller?
What's up, Marcus?
Hey there.
Hey, man. Hey, bro. This was a wild game. I'm happy we won, but I mean, Vucevic is gonna need some psychiatric therapy for real, man. After getting dunked on like that, shit.
I'm sure he'll take the win and laugh his ass off to in the locker room.
Yeah. You'll take the win. You'll take the win, but goddamn, I gotta foul your ass like that. You ain't finna be putting your nuts all over me. No offense, but
yeah, he definitely got punished tonight a little bit, but that's okay, man. This is a very important win for us, and it really helps. 3 in a row. And Boston's on 3 in a row. They just beat the Spurs tonight in a really good game. And it's going to be a tough matchup on Monday, man. This is going to be one of those games that I hope is a battle back and forth. It's going to be a good one.
Hey, believe it or not, now that they let go of Noah Vonleh, Boston is pretty small. So, I mean.
Yeah, we had Noah Vonleh for a minute. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, he looked like a good player. You could tell he was gonna be a good player when he was with us, but it just didn't fit.
Nah, it was just at the era where we were. Think about it, we were a bad team, and I mean he fit at the time. I don't think he'll fit on this team.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna take some more calls, but good win tonight, huh?
Yeah, good win, Vucevic. Next game, you got to cleanse yourself, bro. You got to get some payback on them Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
because Lord made you look like a stepchild tonight.
That's all right. I'm going to tell you, anybody that's the caliber of Vooch has probably been dunked down hundreds of times in his life already. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
All right, man. Have a good night. Take care.
Peace.
All right. Gonna go out to the 219. How you doing?
What's good, Marcus? What's good, P.Kidd? It's Jamal.
Hey, Jamal. What'd you think of this game? P.Kidd's not on just yet. He's got some tech issues he's got going on, but hopefully he'll be coming on pretty soon. So what'd you think of this game tonight?
Okay, well, I told you yesterday that if they got a fair win, I hit my catchphrase. If that's from now on, that's how you shoot.
Yeah,
from now on, that's how you shoot. I'm gonna hit them with the Will Smith tonight. So
give me more of that.
Look,
that's what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. I need more wins, but I need more of just good, solid team play on offense and defense. And tonight wasn't really the best. They definitely did look like a team that was coming off of a back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you know, they did get it done. And that's something that we've had trouble with, coming off of back-to-back games, not getting it done in the second game and things like that. So it felt really good to see them get it done tonight. And just to touch on a couple of things, I'm loving the way Zach is playing tonight.
Yeah.
He played again within control of the offense. He rebounded. He didn't just score. He did something else. He rebounded. Defensively, I don't think the team played really well as a whole, but, you know, they did have some good defensive moments. And Zach just played really well within the flow of the offense. And then there was a time where DeMar DeRozan started getting hot. But, you know, he still has his moments of being a black hole, obviously. But he was able to knock down the shots tonight, and he played well. And then in the fourth quarter, I think this was the first game that I kind of seen where it wasn't just all DeMar. You know, they kind of shared that responsibility of closing the game together.
Yeah, it was pretty fluid throughout. I thought they'd have to call the paramedics in there and get Vooch on a spine board after that Lowry dunk. Jesus.
Yeah, that I feel bad for Vooch because this was like his 7th poster time he's been post-watch the season. And it just sucks because it's like, that's my Senate. I like the fact that you challenge, but this is like the 7th or 8th time that somebody has dove in and just post-watch him. And I'm really mad at Patrick Williams for not getting his. He should have got revenge for Vooch and told Vooch, I got you, because he went up for that dunk on Lloyd and he missed it.
Yeah. Well,
before I go, because I know you got other calls, let me just speak on Patrick Williams real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
He didn't have a good game tonight in terms of shooting and things like that. And defensively, I feel like Larry Marketing was just giving him the business, driving past him, which is kind of crazy because Larry was never really that athletically fast. But I will say this, that I was happy to see. Even with him starting 0 for 7, he kept shooting. And it didn't look like it wavered on him stopping, trying to shoot or trying to find a shot. So that is something that I am happy to see. Again, I'm not trying to say that he played excellently tonight. I think he didn't, but I did enjoy the fact that he did at least attempt to continue to be aggressive, take the shots that were given to him or go search for a shot. And it worked out for him in the end because towards the fourth quarter, you know, he hit those 2 big threes. So that's what I do want to see from Patrick Williams. Sometimes your shot ain't going to fall. That just comes with the territory of the game. But if you stay aggressive and continue to fight, you know, they can fall when you need them to, instead of always falling when you want them to. So
yeah, I agree, and I think I'm really happy actually for Lowry, even though I kid on him all the time. But you know, I want to see players do well, and they saw something in him, and he's doing okay. And as long as he's in the West, I don't care. Go off.
Yeah, you do want to see him do well. You kind of it kind of makes you feel a little angry that you're like, why weren't you doing this when you were on our team? But at the same time, he kind of has some motivation now. I'm saying, why did you trade me if you knew that I could possibly be there? So you do want to see them do well. You never want to see somebody fail in the NBA.
Yeah,
unless they're LeBron. But just joking. But you never want to see somebody fail. But it is a kind of a lesson to be learned as Bulls fans that you shouldn't always give up on a player when they're young. At the same time, you sometimes have to let somebody go for them to go see who they fully are. So.
Yeah, but, you know, Chicago people don't have a lot of patience. I'm one of them.
We don't. We never have.
We want it right now, man. We came all this way. We want it.
Absolutely. We're starving for number 7, so I get it. Trust me, as a Bulls fan, like, I get it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Pat the designer checking in. All right,
thanks
so much, man. Have a good one.
What's up, Pat?
What's going on with you, my guy? A second, I jump in this mug. Here's Kid. Hey, man. Big win tonight, Marcus.
Yeah, man. I'm
big
really
win
happy
for the Bulls.
And we need it. We need this 3 in a row going into the Celtics game on Monday. That's going to be one of the biggest challenges of the season. And I feel like the last 3 games have sort of been small little steps, right? We've seen growth from DeMar of actually passing the ball in certain critical situations and giving it to Zach. Also, the recognition of Zach as having a hot hand and keep feeding him. I honestly think Vooch is doing a ton that we're just not recognizing. I mean, he's been doing some really great screen downs. Still a non-existent pick and roll game from Vooch, but that's where I'm at. I'm really happy in terms of where I was 2 weeks ago with this team, with that horrendous road trip and some of the other things that we had. It just seems like we couldn't get it out of second gear, and it finally feels like in the season that we're making some progression and starting to get that movement that we're looking for.
And here's the thing, right now your team is 8-2, right? You've got some momentum on your side. Zach LaVine talked about in this last 2 weeks, basically with Stacey King, right? That he's starting to feel like himself. He's starting to feel like the player that he once was, and that's showing on the court. And you love to see that he's able to fight his way back into this thing. I think the biggest thing though is the fact that they've kind of figured out a balance between DeMar being the player that the one-on-one guy, right? Like, listen, he's gonna be that one-on-one guy no matter what. They found a balance though between DeMar being the one-on-one guy and the Chicago Bulls actually being able to run some kind of offense. I love that we're seeing that. And I think that's the most important thing with this Bulls team moving forward. You have to be able to run some kind of offense in these moments when things get tough. And if you're not going to be able to, you're going to lose a lot of games. And we've seen that, right? We had the discussion during the stream of the guys, the people on the that are overly defending DeMar, in my opinion, saying, hey, DeMar still able to come out there and give you this kind of production. He's still able to come out there and do these things even in 30 points, but the Bulls are losing. It seems like they're making plays to win games now, and that's the most important thing as we're moving forward here.
Absolutely. Hey, Pat, let's take another caller.
Let's go to the calls, man.
We're going to go out to the 312 right downtown. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Marcus, up, Pat?
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just my signal. Tonight was a good win, especially off a back-to-back. I'm happy with that as of late because I see the effort he's bringing back.
Yeah.
Because the past few games, Zach has had a block in every game. Like before, we weren't seeing that. My man's wasn't. I don't know if it was because of his knee, but he just wasn't getting no lift. Like he's 3-1 in the last 4 games, and he getting a block. Like I don't know. We might be seeing defensive player of the year, Zach. He might be on.
I don't know about that. You might want to take that back at least 10 to 15%. I don't know about that one, man. But I get what you're saying, right? It's an effort we haven't seen from Zach LaVine.
I'm really loving his catch and shoot as of lately. Yep. I feel like we're using Zach as though if Lonzo was still in the game, as far as like him coming off screens, getting in transition, looking for him and stuff. Because I think that's what he flourished. The whole one-on-one and kind of being like DeMar wasn't helping. It was like DeMar take a turn and Zach take a turn. But as far as him trying to be a catch and shoot player and him being athletic and stuff, I feel like he can really help us with that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he's got one of the best shots in the NBA. So when he's hitting them, he's virtually unstoppable. But it's the factor of actually hitting these things.
Oh, his shot is pure. And I just think that's his confidence. I think it was that game against New York where he had like 33. I think that game like really set him up like he could start getting in a good flow.
Yeah.
And I got one thing to say about Patrick Williams. He ain't have a great stat line, like the last caller said, but I'm loving the energy I'm getting from Pat. Like Pat is replacing the energy we was getting from Caruso and Javonte Green, but in the starting lineup. If he just keep giving us energy, the kid's gonna be good. Like it's all about confidence with him. I got complete faith in Pat.
All right.
Hey, listen, I don't disagree with you. I like what Patrick Williams did. Listen, and I love that finally it works in our favor with Kidd, right? Like Kidd killing P. Will.
That's all I had to say. I appreciate the.
Oh, maybe they can't hear.
Oh, can you hear Pat? By the way, caller.
No.
Oh,
I can hear him on my laptop. I can't hear him on the phone.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, we'll work out some kinks here, man. And appreciate the call in as always. If you can hear me on the laptop, shout out to you, brother. Always tuning in.
Thanks.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I hear you, kid. We hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I see you, see me, see you.
Yeah,
No,
there you go. All right, we back.
Here's the one part that I'll say right about Zach LaVine's game. This is the one thing I never was in doubt about. Zach LaVine's going to be able to find some offense. Zach LaVine is going to be able to score the basketball. We've watched him do it for 5 years. Why would all of a sudden he forget how to score the basketball? I know people were freaking out at the beginning of the season. They were like, and there were moments, listen, my rants were based on not off of Zach having a poor shooting night. My rants were based off Zach having a poor shooting night and basically saying it's not my fault that I shot the basketball badly. And you know that I can turn it on at any time. Those were the moments where I lost my mind this season. But here's the one thing that I loved the entire time this season, no matter what. Watching Zach LaVine, bad shooting night, good shooting night. Defensively, Zach LaVine's engaged. The rhetoric that Zach LaVine's a terrible defender and he's not going to be able to get back and he can't guard anybody. Shut all of that up. Zach LaVine guarded Jordan Clarkson very well tonight. Zach LaVine has guarded Donovan Mitchell very well this season. Zach LaVine has guarded your best player's best player very well this season. Have there been moments where he played poor defense? Yeah. And those were the moments where I absolutely looked at Zach and I was like, hey, listen, it's the Cook Show. Welcome to the program. But most of this season, we've seen Zach LaVine be a better defender than we've seen his entire career. Most of this season, we've seen Zach LaVine be a better facilitator than we've seen his entire career. And those were the things to me that I looked at Zach LaVine and I said, how are we going to continue to build on that? Because I know at some point the basketball is going to fall for you. I know you can score. People don't just forget how to score at 27. You forget how to score when your body starts to give up on you when you're 34, 35.
Right. When you got to find new ways to score.
Yeah. When you have to add something to your game for you to be able to make a play, that's when all of a sudden, right? Like it's like, maybe he's not that. He's 27 years old. He's 28 years old. I think me and him are the same age. He's not. He didn't forget how to score the basketball. So the thing that was always promising for me on the Mr. 215 was the fact that Zach LaVine at $215 million added defense and facilitating to his game. And now he's starting to get the scoring back with how he's feeling. Kid, how you feel about Zach LaVine in this game? How do you feel about how the Bulls play?
Efficiency is the one thing that sticks out to me. If you look at his big games, normally when you have someone that takes a lot of shots, we will live with them being 45%. James Harden's whole career is based off that. But it doesn't matter because
hey, listen, let's be real. That MVP season was crazy.
Yeah, but efficiency wise, it was what 46%,
57% on the season.
I could be wrong. Hey, look,
I thought he was cooking that year. I might be wrong. I thought he was cooking.
For a season, but for a career, I think he's like 0.445.
Yeah,
or something like that. And we're just in an era of basketball where efficiency has gone up. The way defense is played has allowed it to change, but that's neither here nor there. Zach being, one thing I've said after a big game is he normally follows it up with a dud. That's actually one of the things I mentioned in the videos, things I said on live with you. And he followed this up with another efficient game. I mean, how many times does someone hit 11 threes and come right back out and hit 6? He had 6 threes today. What I looked at. I'm looking at two different scored statistics in NBA.com, and the score always seem to disagree. So we'll split it down the middle. Let's say he hit 5.
NBA.com be wrong, dog.
I don't know how NBA.com be wrong. I don't understand it. It's like, it's your game.
Exactly how, because it's the same people that's running the WNBA website, and they don't know what they're doing over there either.
Like it's amazing to me, but nonetheless, it's just the efficiency behind it, and that lets me know that. One, he's taking on a challenge. He's not only taking on a challenge, but he's doing so at a high clip. It'd be one thing to say, hey, I want these shots, I want these moments, I want to actually lead this particular team, and you come out put up duds. Then you follow up and with some nice strong performances. Both his 40-point games in the last 10 games were over 70%.
Nice.
That's
we got
crazy.
another, got
that is
caller on the
crazy.
line.
70% from the field. Like, come
What's
on.
up, caller?
What's going on, guys? Pat,
What's happening?
What's happening, brother? How you feeling?
it's Marvin, man.
Oh, I hear you, Marvin.
What's
You
up,
know I
Marv?
know who you are, brother. Hey, hey, listen, Marvin ain't showed us love all year. You know, we brought the post-game show back. Marv jump in the Discord. He gonna say some, hey, Pat, I didn't know this where you and Hayes be hanging out. It's my Discord, Marvin. It's my Discord. I'm
I
gonna be
know.
in there.
I was joking with you guys, man. I just stopped in a minute, man.
Marv, what's going on, man? Hayes calls him Marv, the motivator. Marvin, what's happening, brother?
What's going on, guys? Hey, listen. I got a question I want to ask everybody, guys. Do we feel more confident in this team this year at this record, 2 games under 500, when last year at this time, I think we were like 9 games over, and all of us had questions about how good our team was. Now, I said at the beginning of the year and during the off season, when we got Drummond and Goring, that the team was going to be a whole lot better. Now, remember, my hopes is Lonzo Ball. If we can get him back halfway healthy, guys, with Zach shooting like this, DeMar shooting at a high percentage, Vooch playing well, and Pat growing and Io, his team is pretty good, guys. Now, I ain't saying it's ready for a championship, but I've been saying it, and I honestly believe it. I think the Bulls are going to do something at the trade deadline. And Zach is coming. Listen, Zach looks better than he ever did. Have you guys noticed how he comes back off of knee injuries? He gets better, guys. What you guys think?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I don't think that's a good prescription for him, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, 100%. Right. Here's the thing about Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine takes this seriously. Zach LaVine comes into every season and tries to improve his game. There's a lot of people, and listen, after watching a lot of the guys that have come in the NBA and they have podcasts now and they talk about their careers, there's a lot of people that don't take this seriously. They take this as this is a great check and I have God-given talent. Zach LaVine has improved something every single year of his game. And this year, it has been defensive. I know the defensive rating would not tell you that. Here's the thing. Watching versus what the actual numbers are, what do you think his defensive rating is over the last 10 games? Bulls are 8-2, by the way, and he's played really well.
111.
121.3.
Ooh.
That's god-awful. That's god-awful, right? It's god-awful. This is why I say don't take defensive rating as the end-all, be-all stat, because what have we seen on the court? He has not been that bad. He has not been getting what you know what 121.3 is? That's Mike Dunleavy trying his best.
Yeah. You know, and one more thing I want to say too, guys, is we said, we criticized this team all year. And me myself, Hayes will tell you guys, I've always been, as he calls me, the motivator. It's not the fact that I don't worry about when we have bad stretches, but I look at the trends of the team. And if you look at the Bulls this year, guys, they are streaky, very streaky.
Yes,
they only got two sections their whole season where they won one, lost one, and won one. It's either a 2-game losing streak, a 3-game winning streak, a 2-game losing streak, a 4-game losing streak, a 3-game winning streak. Now, if you look back, as I stated to Hayes the other day, if we don't play very bad against Houston and lose those 2 close games against Cleveland, guys, we on an 11-game winning streak. Y'all know that? I know y'all do.
Throw Atlanta in there.
And that's the trend I'm talking about. If you go back to last year's schedule at this time, at this time last year was the day that Lonzo Ball got hurt.
Yep.
And the Bulls were trending on it. They had just lost to Brooklyn. They got blew out against Brooklyn on national TV when Harden was showing out. I don't remember that. And the next game is when Durant got hurt. But then the following game was when we played against Golden State. And that's when Lonzo got hurt. And y'all all know what happened after that.
Yeah.
This year, who was trending upwards at that same time with hope that Lonzo's coming back. Come on, guys. If we can get this team healthy, and we still wasn't healthy today, but if we can get it healthy, and remember, I did say something, I did write one more thing. This is only a year and a half of this complete team being together. They just started in jail. They could be pretty good, guys. I really think that.
I don't disagree, Marv. I think I don't know if I'm as confident as you are. I appreciate the call as always, Marv. I always appreciate you showing support to the channel. And I'll ask you guys this, right? here's the big thing for me with this Bulls team moving forward. Because we've seen teams go on a stretch, right? Heck, that was a heck of a December stretch with this Bulls team that took us away from getting Luka Doncic, and instead we end up with Wendell Carter Jr.
Are we still going back to this?
No. This is what I say. But Marcus,
you keep picking, man.
No, but Marcus, that team was god awful.
Yeah,
that team was they won 11 games in December.
I know.
That team was god awful. There was no hope for that team. That team did not look like a good basketball team. They did not look like they had anything that was a semblance of an organization moving in the right direction. And they won 11. They won 11 of 15 games in the month of December. You can go on a stretch. Here's the thing. Here's the biggest question for me. Like Marv talked about, do we feel better about this team? I would take it a step further. Do we feel better about the system that's being run when it comes to these better teams that we're playing night in and night out? And the reason why Marv is able to make that comparison to last season is because we weren't right. Like, we've been competitive in some of the games we've lost this season versus the top teams. We were getting our heads kicked in.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't showing. We were giving up 45-point first quarters.
What was that stat? It was like we were like 3-20 something against teams.
Oh, that's how the season ended, Marcus. We were, I believe, 0-15 going into the last month of the season versus top teams in the NBA.
You know, I'll give you something that's really interesting. If you had to directly answer Marv's question for me, I don't feel better about it, but considering that we are on an uptick right now, I look at the next 20 games, and I have them right here in front of me, and I'm going to pretty much contradict what I've said before, because now I see that we're having some continuity, we're stringing some things together. We can win 15 out of the next 20 games.
Don't do that, kid. Last time we did that, Ringo was right, and we won 5.
Well, Steph had a good call. I don't believe in Steph. I don't believe in Steph at all. But I mean, so here's the thing. We go speed round because I'm not trying to take up too much time out of this.
Do it.
Celtics win a loss.
Is Robert Williams back? Robert Williams back, right?
Don't know. I think
Robert Williams is back. I gotta. Robert Williams, I think, is back. I still got a dub. I think the Bulls match up really well against the Celtics. I do.
Wizards, Thunders, Warriors.
Wizards, Thunder, Warriors. Bulls will beat the Wizards. They'll lose to the Thunder for this again, and they will. Warriors where? At home or away? Warriors in Chicago.
Warriors in Chicago.
They'll beat the Warriors in Chicago.
Yeah.
Pistons, Hawks, and Pacers.
Pistons is a dub. Hawks is a dub
for me.
Pacers always a toss up.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got Pacers as an L, but I like the Pacers more than most people do. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's people that right now cover the Pacers and they're like, y'all ready for the bottom to fall out of this? Because it's coming.
Pacers, we're in their home. I mean, we're driving an hour away at this point, but we're in that stadium. I got Pacers as a loss. Hornets, Magic, and Clippers.
Beat the Hornets. We'll
beat the
lose
Magic.
to the Magic. We'll beat the Clippers.
Hornets, Trailblazers, Spurs.
We got the Hornets twice, man. We'll beat the Hornets again because they're god awful. We will lose to the Trailblazers because Damian Lillard versus the Chicago Bulls is ridiculous. We'll beat the Spurs the second time around.
Grizzlies, Nets, and Cavaliers. That's the toughest stretch I just named.
Lose to the Grizzlies. We'll beat the Nets again because they have no answer for Nikola Vucevic. And who?
Cavs.
Yeah,
we'll beat the Cavs this time because the NBA will make sure of it because literally they know they effed up. They had to admit 2 nights in a row, oh, we suck.
I give it reverse. I think we smack the Grizzlies. I think we lose against the Nets. I think we smack the Cavs.
I don't know, but I can't wait to see Ja Morant, man.
I can't either.
Bro, y'all don't even know, bro.
I went odd numbers.
Luz don't even know how smart that play was when he just stood there and waited for somebody to come up and defend the basketball. I was like, bro, they on the second of a back-to-back. He getting any rest they can get.
Back when I was doing the Bulls podcast, when the Zion thing was coming around. Everybody's like, Zion's the one. I'm like, nope, it's Ja.
Last 4 games, real quick. Magic, Pacers, Bucks, and Nets.
Magic, we will beat once. We'll beat them this time on the second time around. Pacers will beat the second time around. Bucks,
not this time.
Now here's the caveat.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think we might lose to the Bucks, but I'm gonna say it for this reason. I think the Bulls are sick of Grayson Allen. I think somebody's gonna lay him out, and it's gonna be an important person, and they're gonna get ejected. And then you said who on the last one?
Here's the caveat. Pacers and Bucks, that's a back-to-back. I think we beat the Pacers. We lose against the Bucks. All-Star break happens. We don't play for 8 games. Then we face the Nets.
Oh, that's
I think we lose against the Nets.
I'm going to be real with you. The Nets don't have an answer for the Chicago Bulls. Kevin Durant is the answer. Kevin Durant is the only answer on that team. And unless
they make a trade to shore that up.
I can see
Tice in a Nets jersey.
I can see Tyson in a Nets jersey. They have no big man presence, bro.
Yeah, I can see Tyson in a Nets jersey.
It's crazy to see. It's like, bro, Kevin Durant's the heaviest dude on your team.
Even if it's not exactly 5, how many W's did you just call out over L?
Dog, I don't know. I wasn't keeping count. I was hoping you were.
I think I got 14.
Yeah, 14. For me, I think
I got 15. I think I ended about what you said, but about 15.
I tell you exactly what I got. Nets, I think we lose 2 both times because I don't see them allowing that to happen. And I mean, that's very contingent. Bucks, we're going to lose 2 because on a back-to-back. Grizzlies, we're going to lose 2. And I had the next loss against the Celtics. Everybody else, Wizards are in a conundrum. They're trying to move some pieces. They're actively shopping Kyle Kuzma. Warriors are in a conundrum right now. Got some injuries. I don't think Steph will be back. Hawks are in a conundrum. They're trying to actively move. Like everyone that we're facing, there's some major trade talk around, and they're trying to make some shifts outside of the Thunder. And the Clippers right now are dealing with their load management is working against them so much that if we lose, fine. 6 out of 6 instead of 5. But look at that stretch. It's not going to be like 10 in a row or anything like that. But if we go 14 out of the next 20, where does that put us in the standings?
5th, 6th.
And it's very logical.
I have it. So I just did it real quick. I believe I have it 13-7. I believe I have it 13-7. Still 500. Still well above 500.
Out of the last, if we add this nice little run in, be a nice way to go. We'll be what? 21-9.
21-9, yeah.
21-9. So guess what? I mean, we're taking a logical approach to it. We're naming teams that we can actually compete against.
Yeah.
And in situations that we should absolutely be able to handle. We don't know what's going to happen, but if you can project out and extrapolate out, it's very possible we are still in the hunt, middle, 4th, 5th seed. Because I mean, no one thinks the Hornets are going to make it. No one thinks the Magic are going to make it. Clippers are up in the air. We played the Hornets twice.
Hey, and I'm gonna be real with you. I think
the Spurs ain't going nowhere.
Here is my biggest thing, and I've said this on a couple of streams. Your top teams outside of Boston. Boston has beaten everybody, all of the best. Your top teams in the Eastern Conference have not beaten the best teams. Your top teams in the Eastern, and I get right, it's the Chicago Bulls, and so they're easy to go at. When the Bulls were beating everybody, now granted, the Bulls were getting destroyed by all the best teams.
Yep.
They were not competing against the best teams. So that's why this is different. But when you look at the Bucks, when you look at the Nets, when you look at the Cavaliers have been a little bit better. Most of them have lost to most of the top teams in the NBA. The Chicago Bulls have lost 3 times to your top teams in the NBA. 2 of them, I believe at a minimum, the refs orchestrated. No, I'm not going to say that. 1, the refs orchestrated. The game before DeMar DeRozan's game winner, one-legged fadeaway. I didn't call that out on the stream. He does get fouled clearly, but you were doing a one-legged fadeaway. Turnaround, one-legged fadeaway. Do you practice that shot?
I ain't never seen you take that shot, DeMar.
You know what I mean? Like, well, I have versus the Pacers literally a year before that. But I don't I'm not going to hold that one up there as much that second game versus the Cavs, I really look at the NBA and say, hey, y'all need some questions answered. But outside of those, right, they're losses. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Outside of those, the Chicago Bulls have played extremely good basketball over their last 10. I'm still not 100% bought in. I'm still like, hey, that's a great run. Let's see if you can keep it up. But they played extremely good basketball. And it's not about how you hit. It's about when you hit.
When you hit.
And the Bulls last season hit the game one. Game one don't matter. game one of the NBA season don't got a dang thing to do with game 82.
Nope. Not at all. Hey, let's close it out with one last call here.
Let's do it, brother.
All right. We're going to go to the 920. How you doing, caller?
What's good, Marcus? P&P. It's nice to call out when the Bulls win.
Yeah. So what are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, we had some
rocking
good...
with PNP before he goes to the rocking with PNP.
Hey, listen, I'll take it.
I'll take it. Okay. I'll allow it. We'll allow it.
I wanted to touch up some of the topics you guys was just talking about, like that 20-game stretch.
Yeah.
You got to think about it, man. After the All-Star break, that's when the real crunch time blocks in. That's when you got your set 8-man, 9-man rotation. We are yet to figure that out because we still need some backside help for Booch because he is getting his ass bodied night after night. So with that 20-game stretch, and then I heard you, P, you say that, no, we top teams is not beating other top teams. They still figuring the roster out. Come that 8-9-man rotation, it ain't going to be the same. It's going to be harder. You're just going to be leaving it all on the floor.
Yeah.
And then I watched the video, P, with you talking about the Kyle Kuzma on the trade deadline. I hate to be that shoulda, coulda, woulda guy, but, we have fell victim to Mark Eversley and Arturis and the ownership who pulled the buzzer too quick on Larry Marketing. He should never have been signed because you could have had Marketing on his bird right. You could have got Kyle Kuzma, but they don't want to go over that tax and all that. So that kind of hindered us. I'm a big Booch fan, but if they would have just waited one more year, signed him to his bird rights, we could have had another All-Star on the floor too.
You wouldn't have Zach LaVine though. That's what a lot of people forget. The AK and not to say that I don't disagree with you, right? I think that but for me, Larry is a different situation. Me and Kidd are very different on this, but you had to make the Chicago Bulls respectable again. And that's what AK did. The Chicago Bulls are a team that people want to go to. And I know there's a lot of people that look at it and say, what Michael Jordan did, what the Chicago Bulls did to Michael Jordan does not matter in the long term. The biggest name free agent you signed to the Chicago Bulls in the 20 years that Michael Jordan, since everybody talked about his deal, whatever it was, and that they talk around the NBA, is Carlos freaking hair paint Boozer.
Hold that.
But you got to answer this question. So I hear you on that, but every team's going to have their roster set with an 8-9-man rotation for this playoff push, right?
Yep.
So you leave it all on the flow time.
Yep.
Who's our 8 and 9-man rotation? Because we do not have no secondary big. Because Andre Drummond proved that he doesn't have the IQ at some time. So late games and he can't hit the free throw. We don't have no other big. Because that 8-9-man rotation is not set.
Hey, Kid, I don't disagree with him because Drummond be getting the ball and he'd be like, I'm a point guard. Hey, Drummond be playing in the NBA like Dwight Howard plays overseas, right? Hey, he be calling the play. He be hey, two. Hey,
bro.
You should be calling the play, brother. No, I will say this. AK is going to have to make some moves. But the biggest thing for me is that you had to make the Chicago Bulls. I love hindsight is 2020. I'm not saying Larry Marketing didn't turn into a player. I always thought Larry could play. I did. I thought Larry, when he played aggressive, I literally have multiple videos saying he's one of the best power forwards in the NBA when he plays aggressive. But here's the thing at the end of the day.
Let me pause you. The campaign turned into a player. Should we have kept him around?
No, because and that's the biggest thing. Circumstances matter. Campaign turned into a player because Campaign went overseas, got an opportunity to work on his game where he could do nothing but actually play his game, found a lane that he fit in, came back to the NBA and was able to implement that lane on a team that had Chris Paul also helping him. Those things are important, and those are the things that a lot of times we don't focus in on around a lot of these players. But the biggest thing for me is that when we look at the hindsight, right? Yeah, Lowry's turned into this great player. I always thought Lowry could play. The biggest thing, though, was that the Chicago Bulls had to become a respectable organization again. And I know that it's been a year plus and some change right now, but there was absolutely no way that the previous feeling around this organization would have gotten you Lonzo Ball and or DeMar DeRozan. Now, Lonzo hasn't worked out, but DeMar DeRozan coming to the Chicago Bulls and looking at the Chicago Bulls, Alex Caruso looking at the Chicago Bulls, those weren't things that you could count on, and you had to make your organization respectable enough from Gar Forman's Muppet face to be able to turn yourself into an organization that players want to come to. Now you're a team that players want to come to. You got Andre Drummond.
He's
minimal money. He made $3 million this year.
We got him for nothing.
Goran Dragic turned down more money to come play for the Bulls.
This is gonna be my last question. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. So at the All-Star, it's gonna be that crunch time. Who is our 8 to 9 man rotation, and who can our tourists and Eversley go get? I say you got to trade Derrick Jones Jr. and or Green, because they two similar players. They don't fit the need that we have, and you got to drop Bradley, maybe pick up a Carmelo or something. But who do y'all see as that 8 or 9 man rotation?
I can get Carmelo for $20.
Things gonna get tough.
Hey,
I tell you the truth. Yeah, I appreciate you calling it, bro. I tell you the truth. That's a question I'll be able to answer you after the trade deadline, because I honestly feel like a trade is going to happen. I think moves are going to be made, and so that's something I really couldn't answer for you. And the funny thing about it is, I could see a future without Vooch being on this team, not because Vooch is a bad player, because he's worth so much.
Yeah, fact.
Vooch right now, I mean, even today, double.
To a championship team? Who are we? Hey, listen, hear me out on this. Vooch to the Boston Celtics?
Ooh. No, they wouldn't trade in conference.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. They
wouldn't trade in conference.
The Bulls?
Bulls wouldn't trade in conference.
Fam.
I wouldn't give Vooch. I would not trade Vooch to Boston Celtics, because Celtics wouldn't give up any pieces for us to really like.
They wouldn't give up any pieces, but Boston still has picks that have nothing to do with their team that are ridiculously high, and you don't have one.
Nah, I don't see it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Boston come calling, don't think Vooch ain't available. We've heard this many times. I know Locked On Celtics has talked about this. Locked On Warriors has talked about this as well. There's a lot of people around the NBA that are waiting to see what the Chicago Bulls are going to do with moving some of these pieces. I'm not saying I would give that up. I'm not saying that I would be like, oh my God, you got to make this move. But Boston is one big man away from making a championship run. And I'm going to be real with you, even with Vooch, you're nowhere near making a championship run yet. Vooch got what, maybe 2-3 years left. You need to find that guy that's going to help you get a championship run. Maybe that is P. Will's development. Maybe that is taking that next step. Maybe getting those shots away from Vooch does that. I don't know. I'm not saying that these are guaranteed things that I see, but the biggest thing for me with this Bulls team is that there's nothing off of the table at this point, and there's still nothing off of the table at this point. We love Drummond, we love Dragic, we love what they brought to the team. They make minimal money, and they bring back a lot more than what they're worth right now. Not worth this player, worth this cap.
I love playing armchair GM just because, I mean, we all wanted to be that.
Hey, we always be wrong, don't we? Neither of us said Vooch in that trade deadline.
Hey, but the funny thing is, the only team I can, if Vooch would absolutely get moved, only team I can see him getting moved to is the Raptors, because he has an expiring contract, and the Raptors are in what you would call professional purgatory, because they are absolutely going nowhere. They have no aspirations.
But you know what?
They're playing decent ball, but you have no championship aspirations. You got players who you might have to actually extend, things of that nature. I can make a trade. Vooch is on an expiring contract. I can free up some stuff. That's the only team I can see in the Eastern Conference the Bulls trade with that would actually make sense.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Raptors, though. Historically, people really don't sign with the Raptors. Kawhi was traded there. You got to make a trade to get guys there that are going to be big money guys. And then, listen, I know everybody's off of Scotty Barnes for some reason now. He's going to be better.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to take a step.
Don't sleep on him whatsoever.
Hey, by the way, if y'all give up on Scotty Barnes.
You talking about Scotty Barnes. Fred VanVleet is having the worst season shooting-wise of his career.
Fred VanVleet is a volume shooter. That don't surprise me.
Siakam is not doing what he used to do. It's run its course. They got what they needed out of it.
You know what happened? You had a team that was built around everybody, and you had one dude start to shine. And then you built your offense around that one dude starting to shine, and he didn't shine in his second year. He had a sophomore slump to this point. And now with him having a sophomore slump, you got to go back to building your offense around everybody having to shine, and that's a tough adjustment to make in the middle of the season.
Hey. But you know what? All this speculation,
there's a lot of options.
We gonna sit there and talk about all this till the cows come home. So at this point,
hey, and we're gonna be wrong. So
we're gonna be wrong.
All right. At this point, we are going to close out this post-game show. I want to thank all the viewers for checking us out. And be sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Windy City Breeze. It's the only place that talks Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. For Pat the Designer, for P.Kidd, we'll catch you next time for the Celtics post-game show. Until then, take care, everybody. Go Bulls.
Peace. Go Bulls.